As an expectation, Amir Khan का बेटा तो mind blowing actor होगा ही. If industry में you could be a privileged kid or not a privileged kid. If you don't have success, you're not getting your next job. Amir Khan in his first film, of course, he was a good actor, but he was not a great actor. I really feel that today women are way more stronger than men. Rani Mukherjee only works for 8 hours. She wanted to be with her family. So her condition, Deepika is saying this now. This is 25. We were shooting Hitchki in 2018. Kajol, my first film, We Are Family, in 2010 when I was shooting for Dharma Productions. One shift. She will give you one shift. She has to be there for her family. She has to be there for as a mother. Today we can function in one shift for actors. वो 12 घंटे आप उतनी efficiency 8 घंटे में डालो. You want to work with them. You are going to them. They are telling you before starting the shoot, this is how I'm going to work. It's your choice to work or no. Maybe Sandeep sir's film requires that amount of time from an actor. An honest, true version of what happened in Kamal Amrohit and Meena Kumar's life. NNCP asking him to get Prem Nath for Kali Charan. And at that time, I think Shatru Uncle was fairly new. That's what I was told. So Dada was a very big character actor at that point of time. So NNCP wanted him to be padded in the film. But yeah, Sir Judah was created back then. He said, you know, you don't even have to say anything. I'll just make you say the lines and make McMahon say the dialogues. Mine was only with Krishna Dadi and Chintu Chacha. In the full family, which is Rishi Kapoor. Ranbir is younger to me, or Bebo. Bebo, I mean, directed. You know, it's Karan Johar who actually doesn't get the, like he says it even today, even I say it, that he doesn't get the credit to launch. What about all of us as filmmakers? If he's given us wings to fly, and we were shooting the scene where Shah Rukh sir reads from the diary, and there's nothing in the diary, and he's saying, "Mere naina naina ko chahte hain." It's good fun, and I'm really looking forward to people watching it because it's Pari's debut digital series.
Sidharth P. Malhotra, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you, sir.
Siddharth, you've been the creative force behind Rani Mukherjee's Hitchki, Junaid Khan's debut film Maharaj, and you've recently wrapped up the shooting of much anticipated series starring Parineeti Chopra.
That's correct. Yeah.
How creatively fulfilling was the experience of working on that project?
On working with that project, it's been a wonderful time because I was also part of a show called Behad, which I created with Jennifer Winget. So this show not only has Parineeti, it has Jennifer, it has Harleen in a Sethi. I just did a show called Doctors, which really did very well. So lots of familiar friends. Soni ji I've worked with on a show called Love Ka Intezar, which we produce in Alchemy. She's part of it, Soni Rajasthan. Anup sir at one point was my acting teacher in Kishore Namit Kapoor, and here I have him and I'm working with him as a producer, Anup Soni. So it was good fun. It was very, very creatively satisfying. Renzel, who has directed it, and he has created it, and I've co-created it with him. Is a very, very dear friend. I've produced Dial 100 with him. Directing. So it was good fun, and I'm really looking forward to people watching it because it's Pari's debut digital series. While she's done digital films, it's the first digital series, and it's come out special. We're editing it and looking forward to sharing it with everyone.
You know, what did you enjoy most about working with seasoned actors like Soni Rajasthan during the shoot?
I actually had the good fortune of only working with seasoned actors. My first film was Kajol Kareena. We Are Family as a director. After that, Hitchki, Rani Mukherjee, Neeraj Kabi, all seasoned actors. Maharaj, of course, was all new actors except Jaideep Alawat, who is a seasoned actor, but who I had to transform because he was really huge and we had a different vision for him. But even in my television career, because of dad, because of my grandfather, where, Prem Nath ji, Meena Rai, my grandmother, I think one has only been working with them, but one has also launched about 35, 40 newcomer TV actors. All the top reigning stars have all been launched by me in my shows, which I've created. But yeah, working with Sonia D, working with Pari, there's a sense of comfort because you don't really need to, you don't need to handhold them to that level of what to do, what not to do. Once they believe in the material, you have a good director, we have a good DOP, we have a good technical team. My job as a creative producer was to get the best team together. And then my wife, Sapna, who handles all the production, bring the best team together because it's the memories that you will look behind when you shoot. It's like, "Arey, maza aaya tha kya shoot pe? Do I want to work with that person again or no?" And I think we've all had a great time. You know, I've read some beautiful testimonials of all of them, which they posted on Instagram after the shoot got over, uh, which was very heartening because you don't need to do that. Your shoot gets over in this industry, ab aage badh jate ho to our next project. But yeah, everyone's in touch with each other. Everybody's very excited about this show. So is Netflix. So fingers crossed.
Did you feel any added pressure because you were directing Junaid Khan in his debut, especially given that he is Amir Khan's son, and there were high expectations from both the industry and the audience. That was, of course, Maharaj was, of course,
Yeah,
Junaid
yeah.
Khan's debut film.
Gee. No, I did. There's no denial that there is no. He's Amir Khan's son. Amir Khan is one of the biggest actors and the greatest actors of the country. And there's an expectation. Amir Khan ka beta to mind blowing actor hoga hi. You don't give him that discount that this is his first film. And Amir Khan in his first film, Qiyamat se Qiyamat Tak, was a very cute looking guy. But Tum Mere Ho and Deewana Mujhse Nahi in Awal Number, he was not Amir Khan the actor. He even became Amir Khan the actor in time. He was a very good looking guy. Uh, of course, he was a good actor, but he was not a great actor. The great actor became in time. So, but in today's times, it's very competitive. So you actually literally have to study what not to do in your hero and what to do in your hero. You have to study him in and out, know his flaws, know his weaknesses, know his strengths. And as a director, it is my job to present him with his strengths and hide those flaws and present him in the best way possible. So we sat a lot, we worked a lot, we understood each other a lot. For all of us as a team to collectively know how do we present him not as Junaid Khan, but as Karsan Das Mulji, the journalist of 1862. So that's why we styled him as a character. We gave him that persona, and we really worked hard. And I'm glad that that film has done really, really well for him. And specifically, Maharaj is a film that people liked his performance. People loved the film, and because they loved the film is why I'm today directing the Kamal Amrohit Meena Kumari biopic. Had that not happened, I would have not got Maharaj. I mean, I would have not got Kamal Saab's film to direct. Uh, so yeah, it's been a lot of work on that film, but a lot of heartbreak on that film too, like loads of heartbreak.
But then, what are then the strengths or the similarities do you see between Junaid and Amir Khan?
Similarities are they don't conform to any norms. Neither does Amir sir conform to any norms. How much ever I know him, he does what his heart tells him is right, and he follows his heart. It may be in the right uh, trend of following what's working or what's not working. Amir sir will do what he feels is right or wrong. Both of them are very sincere actors. They give their 100% to each other. Of course, I have not had the pleasure of working with Amir sir as an actor. I hope I do someday. But whatever I know of Amir sir as a human being, and I can say that I know well of him as a human being. They're very sincere, honest people, and they're people who will own up to their flaws if there are flaws. They're not people who are so full of themselves that will not own up. They're human. They're as human can get. Although Amir sir is the biggest superstar of the country, he is someone who is also very, very human. And that I've seen in very few people. So even Junnu, today is his birthday as we talk. Even Junnu is a very, very honest. उसकी आंखों में और उसकी persona में बहुत ही सच्चाई दिखती है. Even today, you will see a very real person, and that's he's not doesn't have the air of being I'm Amir Khan's son, so I'm going to throw things around and he could do all of that. But he's not. He's not because that's how he's brought up by Reena ji and Amir sir. I think he's a good kid. Yeah, I wish him well.
What was Amir Khan's reaction after watching Maharaj?
He loved the film. He loved the narration first when he heard the first script, and then he loved the film. He absolutely loved it. He gave me a hug. He loved it. He had few observations which we took into consideration.
Okay, were the inputs came from him as well?
Few inputs came, but it did help because in the end we had to cut 20 minutes of the film. क्लाइमैक्स में जितना भी आप देखते हो वो काटा हुआ है. जुनैद की इंट्रोडक्शन कुछ और थी, so we've shot it all and cut. So there's so much of that film which is on script, like it's like a boom punch, and now it became a high five.
Wow.
So when you from a punch to a high five, there's a big power difference.
Yeah, impact.
बहुत बहुत फर्क है. तो स्क्रिप्ट पे थी, एडिट पे थी, शूट पे थी, पर क्योंकि सिचुएशंस जब हमारी फिल्म एक पोस्टर के वजह से ही बैन हो गई, ना ट्रेलर आया ना गाने आए, एंड आयरॉनिकली एज वी स्पीक June 14th is 1 year of Maharaj. So yeah, it was a very tough time for all of us emotionally, because after you have a hit film, sir, इस फिल्म में, इस इंडस्ट्री में, you know, you could be a privileged kid or not a privileged kid. If you don't have success, you're not getting your next job. So luckily, after one film which didn't do so well, it was above average. It didn't lose money, but it was not a hit, which was We Are Family. Then I had to wait 7 years to make Hichki. And from there to get Maharaj, I thought अभी हिचकी तो सुपर हिट हो गई है, हिट भी नहीं हुई, सुपर हिट हो गई है, अभी नेक्स्ट फिल्म तो अगले साल आ जाएगी, उसको भी 5 साल लग गए आते आते.
You know, I have many questions about your creative process and your journey, but what was it that you wanted to convey through Maharaj?
What that your connection with your God, जो जुनैद भी कहता है in the film, जो करसन कहता है कि your connection with your God is your own. चाहे वो ईश्वर हो, अल्लाह हो, ईसा मसीह हो, वो जो भी हो, आपकी अपनी कनेक्शन. जो गुरु होता है या द गॉडमैन होता है, he's a bridge. He's a bridge who guides you. But when that godman, and if that godman becomes corrupt, that's when politics and everything else comes in. So your connection with God is your own. It cannot be through a bridge. You don't need a bridge to connect. You can connect with God sitting right at home. It's a divine power. You don't need to idol worship. You don't need to. It's about your Shraddha. So I think that's what I was talking about blind faith. I was talking about how people back then, a man was fighting for women in 1862.
So progressive.
In 1862, a journalist whose voice was being suppressed and not being allowed to speak for those who he was fighting for. And he says that agar as a society we don't change, तो साल बदलेंगे, 100 साल बदलेंगे, गुरुओं के नाम बदलेंगे, किससे वही रहेंगे. Sir, what has changed today, sir?
Nothing.
So what he says philosophically is correct, because गुरुओं के नाम ही सिर्फ बदले हैं, किससे वही रहे हैं. Blind faith even today persists, and how? And because of that blind faith is where politics happen, issues happen, fights happen. So what the film tells you is faith is very good, but blind faith is dangerous in anything.
Well, nice to know your intentions about making such a thought-provoking film, and I love the film. I just want to say that.
Thank you, sir.
But many questions about your creative process. But before we get into that, Rani Mukherjee made a comeback.
Ji.
Who filmed with Hichki after becoming a mother.
Yeah.
More recently, there's been a conversation about Deepika Padukone reported
8 hours.
6 hours workday for the film Spirit.
Yeah.
Which actually led to her exit from the film.
Ji.
What's your perspective on actors setting clear boundaries when it comes to working hours?
Sir, I've only worked with actors who work on 8-hour shifts. Rani Mukherjee only works for 8 hours. She wanted to be with her family. So her condition, Deepika is saying this now. This is 25. We were shooting Hichki in 2018. Yes. In 2018, she had Adira, and at that point of time, she said, I want to be back home when my child wakes up. She would come at 7 in the morning, 7:15 her first shot was taken. By 12, she would pack up. So by 2, we would have packed up. Made me Kajol, my first film, We Are Family, in 2010 when I was shooting for Dharma Productions, one shift. She will give you one shift. She has to be there for her family. She has to be there for as a mother. And I don't think so, sir. that is a problem. Today we can function in one shift for actors, as directors, as makers. It's our job to, if we want a specific talent and we feel that that talent is going to add a lot of value to us, वो 12 घंटे आप उतनी एफिशिएंसी 8 घंटे में डालो, वो जो 4 एडिशनल घंटे हैं कुछ और करो. I've been a producer all my life and a director. So I really, I mean, for me, Deepika is making this statement now, obviously for her family. She's not making it to go and party, She's not making it that I want to go and really have a good time and, or hit the gym. None of that. She's saying, I want to be back for my child. People have been doing that for years. Kajal's been doing that from 2010. Rani's done that. So I have only worked with actors who've done that. So for me, that's a norm. It's like, oh, you'll work a shift, yeah. If they tell me, oh, I'll give you 10 hours, I'm like, arey, because 10 घंटे will be very good.
So then, what do you then say? Do you think Radhika Apte recently also commented that she said Bollywood is not conducive to the needs of new working mothers?
No, sir, I don't believe all this. I believe it's from producer to producer and person to person. I really don't believe that. I've worked with Yashraj, I've worked with Dharma, and they are very respectful to the one shift rule. I will be working with certain actors in the near future for my new projects who only work for 6 hours, 7 hours. Sir. They're very clear about it that I will come for 6 hours on your shoot as a hero or as a heroine. And fair enough, you want to work with them, you are going to them, they are telling you before starting the shoot, this is how I'm going to work. It's your choice to work or no.
You're saying rules are same for both men and women in Bollywood? Like Saif Ali Khan says, I want 4 holidays. Like Akshay Kumar openly has acknowledged that, he doesn't work on Sundays. Do you think then?
I think so, sir. I think rules are same. Even Akshay Kumar or even many big stars or many big male stars, some only work for 6 hours, some work for 8 hours, some work for 3 hours. It's your prerogative if you want to work with them or no. Deepika, or forget Deepika, any mother or any working woman, I'm saying forget any working actor, any technician has the right to say that. It is your right if you want to collaborate or no.
But then what do you say to Sandeep Reddy Vanga, who actually...
Too small, he's such a big director. Why should I say anything to him? That's his choice. If I was given a choice, I'm a director too. I have worked with actors who work in one shift. I'm working with actors who are working in less than one shift. So I'm not complaining. As a director, I'm not complaining. Maybe Sandeep sir's film requires that amount of time from an actor. I can't speak on his behalf because it'll be wrong on my side to speak. I'm a director too. But if tomorrow Deepika tells me one shift, I say, yeah, fine, one shift, we'll make it work.
You sure
but she's saying yes to Sandeep Reddy Vanga.
Huh?
See, we don't get Deepika Padukone, no? She said yes there, and then it didn't work out.
Are you sure that the rules are same? Bollywood is now?
Sir, I'm 100% sure the rules are same for men and women. It depends person to person. It is not
or project to project, or perhaps project to project.
Nice, sir. Project to project, person to person. I want to work with you, sir. I want to work with you. I'll figure it out. Everybody has their own way and method of working, sir. I can only speak for myself. Sandeep sir is a very senior director. I'm a huge fan of his. A huge fan of all his films and his work. And I think he's a very passionate director. But I don't know what his requirement is. If his requirement is that I want an actor every minute, every second, maybe. Everybody has a process. My process is that नहीं आप आओ अपना काम करो मैं अपना काम कर लूंगा उसके बाजू में
So that means for you the rules are same for everybody, even for technicians.
I can't mention the heroes I'm working with, but the next heroes I'm working in, some of them are only going to come for 6 hours. Not even the hours 8. Deepika was talking about one shift, which is 8 hours. Some of them would like to come for 6 hours, less than one shift.
Sure.
Fine, I want to work with them. They'll come. I'll make it work.
I used to know that. But be it Via Family, Hichki, or now the Meena Kumar biopic, what inspires you to focus on stories centered around women?
I really don't know, but maybe somewhere within, I don't know what's there within me that I need my women characters to be strong. I just need them to be. I really feel that today women are way more stronger than men, and I really believe that, and way more. I mean, they're everything. We are nothing. We're literally dependent on them for everything, and give them more power. Actually, not give them more power. They have more power. Celebrate them. In my films, my characters or the even the technicians I work with, my writers are women mostly, or uh, I feel the perspective they bring or the richness or the nuances they bring uh, are rare. And I want to tell stories that will leave a mark. So I want to tell stories that मैं मर जाऊं, like my grandfather has left a legacy, Raj Dada has left a legacy, my family, my father has left a legacy through Katha Sagar, and whatever he will leave a legacy on all the shows he's created. Uh, Hopefully on television I've done some of those. On films I've done one, maybe Hitchki and maybe Maharaj too. I want to leave that legacy behind. So if you want to, then you've got to work. You have to be lalchi to work with those people and choose those subjects that you feel that हाँ यार ये मेरे जाने के बाद भी ना लोग बोलेंगे यार ये फिल्म मेकर था, इसने कुछ अच्छा किया. That's why you're in cinema, no? So you're not in cinema. You're in cinema to leave a mark and for the passion of telling stories. You're not just for the money. पैसे तो आप कहीं और ज्यादा कमा लो. यहाँ पे तो हार्ट ब्रेक उतने उससे कहीं ज्यादा आपको मिलेगी.
You are currently working on the Meena Kumari biopic,
जी.
which is produced by Bilal Amrohi,
Yeah, it's Kamal Saab's grandson.
Tajdar Amrohi's son.
Yeah.
What can audiences expect from the film, and how are you approaching
An honest, true version of what happened in Kamal Amrohi and Meena Kumari's life. Because it's based on their handwritten, literally their handwritten love letters and their diaries. So unki kahani, unki zubani hai. I have beautiful writers. I have Bhavani Iyer, I have Kausar Munir, who've written the script. They're both women writers, both writers who have given a very fair, balanced perspective, have not whitewashed anybody. This is not a whitewashed film. This is a film about two people who were geniuses and were flawed and loved each other. And today are buried next to each other, literally less than a feet away in town in Bombay. So it's a great love story, and I believe films like these, on legends like these, like Meena Kumari or Kamal Saab, are chosen by them. We are just the vessels. They've chosen us to तुम हमारी कहानी कहोगे. As filmy or philosophical as it sounds, I feel these greats, you can't decide to tell their story. They will decide when their story is to be told and who is going to be told through. And I strongly believe it's true. I mean, cross my heart, I strongly, so do my writers. That ये इस फिल्म में जो एक्टर्स जुड़ेंगे, जो टेक्नीशियंस जुड़ेंगे, मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो आई एम ऑटो राइटिंग बाय अ पेन दैट कमाल साहब एंड मीना जी आर राइटिंग through our fingers from.
Her name was Mejabeen Banu.
Yes, that's her real name.
Do you believe Meena Kumari faced betrayal from within Bollywood, including some prominent actors?
Sir, let's see the film now. अभी तो picture में वक्त.
Does the film reflect all that?
सिर्फ देखिए, I don't want to talk about Meena ji right now. I don't want to talk about उस वक्त तो बहुत बातें करने को होंगी. It's too premature for me to even talk about Meena ji and what happened and what I believe in her life, because these topics will come at that point when I am ready to talk and shoot that film. अभी इस वक्त it's too premature to talk about Meena ji or Kamal Saab. Like you asked me what to expect a real honest film, because ये उनकी कहानी, उनकी ज़बानी है, उनके लव लेटर्स है, उनकी राइटिंग है. तो कल को अगर आपने मुझे बोला ये हुआ नहीं था, ये आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं, मैं उनकी राइटिंग में आपको दिखा दूं.
Sure. We trust you and their letters. Now, you are the grandson of legendary actor Prem Nath ji, who left an indelible mark on Indian cinema.
Yes.
I have heard many stories about him from filmmakers like Subhash Ghai and Raul Ranbir. Though he passed away in the year 1992,
Yeah.
but he continues to be remembered even today and very fondly.
Yes.
I also read later in life he took a sannyas from the industry.
In the mid stages, yeah.
I just today want to request you if you can share with us some of the conversations you had with him about films or life in general while growing up.
I was too young. I was 12, and at that point of time, we would visit Dada every Sunday. So by the time I started understanding what film is and who my grandfather is, I mean, he used to have this room and he used to have this big theater and projector, and and I would just sit on his lap, and he would be watching movies, and I would just be sitting as an infant, literally, or 2 years, 3 year old, because I was the first grandson. So first grandson सबको प्यारा होता है, तो वो बैठा होता है. So me, Dadi, I was very, very close to. So growing up, all my life, it was watching movies with Dada in his theater. But the conversations on film, the conversations on women, or the conversations on anything that I could have or would have had, um, unfortunately happened only once or twice, where I asked him and he just smiled at me. Hey, look at this 12-year-old Tutu is asking me these kind of questions. He just smiled. I'm sure if I had grown up now, and if he were alive, our conversations would have been way more richer, because he was so well read. In any you could have a my growing up in my growing up years. I'm 46 now. In my growing up years, I've learned so much about my grandfather from different people that I didn't know myself.
I tell you, Subhash has mentioned in his book that, when he went to sign Prem Nath ji, so he waited till 4 or 4:30 or 5 o'clock, but he had this mandli.
Yeah.
Where this red light used to be on outside the room, and I think 5 o'clock in the morning, he asked Subhash ji, "Okay, why you have come? Have you read about it or heard about this?"
No, Subhashi has told me this, and Dada, my grandfather, and my father, all of them told me about this. This is a story about NNCP asking him to get Prem Nath for Kali Charan. And at that time, I think Shatru uncle was fairly new. That's what I was told. So Dada was a very big character actor at that point of time. So NNCP wanted him to be padded in the film. So he waited, I think, for a narration. And my grandfather had the same room which I used to go to. If the red light is on, you're not allowed to enter. Even if you're his son, you're not allowed to enter. It's a rule. So, and he would have the biggest classical musicians. So I have trained with Ustad Ghulam Mustafa Khan Sahab and Ustad Sultan Khan Sahab, unka Ganthavan Shagird. So even classically. So they even told me कि आपके दादाजी के घर में ना जाना हमारे हाथ में, आना हमारे हाथ में था, जाना हमारे हाथ में नहीं था. एक बार घुस गए तो फिर गाना बजाना वो चाहे पूरी रात चले. So if he had people, or he was in a mood, or he wanted to sing, and he knew 108 rags himself, he would sing himself. So he wrote a book. He wrote a book of 2 books of poetry. So I think Subhash, until he I think he waited till 5 in the morning. At 5 in the morning, he called him in and then did a narration. And he said, "Ya to tera municipality super hit hoga, ya to tu pura hi jayega." I think he took a rupee for that film. He just took 1 rupee for that film. He didn't even take he didn't take any money for that film, as much as I am told, because he believed in Subhashi. And then after that, Subhashi did his next film even with Dada. And then I think during Kurz again, they called him, and he said that time he had he had a huge problem in his feet. He couldn't walk at that point of time.
He was given a wheelchair in the film also.
He was given a wheelchair. He only walked in the last scene in the end for a little, which he could walk. But otherwise, he couldn't. At that time, even medical facilities were not available. That I think it's the amount of partying and the amount of abuse to the body that at that point of time all these guys did. Health took the better of him. But yeah, Sir Judah was created back then. He said, you don't even have to say anything. I'll just make you say the lines and make Mac Mohan say the dialogues. Because Dada was known for his voice. He was known for his, "Yeah, what's up?" There was a projection to Prem Nath's voice. So yeah, and even my grandmother was grace personified. बीना राय जो वादा किया वो निभाना पड़ेगा, ये जिंदगी उसी की है, ताज महल, both they were icons. So I think he went off for that spiritual trip. I think at one point when
he took sannyas from.
Yeah, when Dadi actually at one point was doing way better than him. He had been he wanted to do hero roles, but he was getting villain roles, and that's what he didn't want. But he had by then walked into Mehboob Khan's set as a villain, not even knowing his role was of a villain, because it was Mehboob Khan. And then he and Dilip Kumar were very close friends. And then he did very well in Aan, which he was celebrated for. But then villain roles kept coming. And Dadi was a top heroine back then. So then he went, took his sannyas, went into spiritualism, came back with Johnny Vera.
He went to China.
He went, and during the sannyas time, he went to Jabalpur, Beda Ghat. So if you go to Beda Ghat, they'll tell you, यहाँ पे Prem Nath ने sannyas इतने साल के लिया है. If you go where is Samadhi is even right now. Then he swam the Mansarovar. Imagine an actor swimming the Mansarovar and landing up in China and getting arrested. And with a dadi wadi and all. And years ago, I think Dad tells me the story that the Prime Minister of China had asked him to come in as a guest, and he said, "Yeah, someday I'll come." And then he gets arrested and he writes, "You allowed a telegram?" So he sends a telegram to the Prime Minister back then, saying that, "Is this how your guests are treated?" Actor Prem Nath. And the Prime Minister then makes him a state guest after 2-3 days getting to know that this is Prem Nath. So yeah, there are stories of him.
He sent this to
Papa.
Prime Minister, Chinese Premier.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
These are all stories I've heard from Dad, from Chacha, because obviously he's not there to tell me. But there are many stories which they have told me of Bobby when he got ready as Jack Briganza, because Jack Briganza सूट एक ही बार पहनता है किसी की मैयत पे या किसी की शादी पे. So Raj Dada had got him this suit from the best tailor because he's my brother-in-law. He's coming to my set. I must give him the best. And his character was like, Jack Briganza ne ek hi baar pehanta hai. So the shoot was stopped, was stalled. He goes back home. He tells Dadi, Meena, mere purane suits leke aao. And there's one suit where the zip doesn't fit. And these Papa and Chacha start laughing. And he says, "This is it." And then he goes back, and everybody's waiting. Prem Nath come. There were no phones, mobiles, pages. He's just left the set and gone away. He comes back and says, "This is Jack Briganza's suit. Now shoot." So these kind of actors you don't get, sir. You don't get these actors who live their characters. He actually stayed in a Machwaro ki basti
in Versova.
Yes, he stayed there to know what it is to play a fisherman.
Why he used to address assistant director as municipalities? He used to, I remember.
It was an affectionate term of his. It was like, या तो तेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता, या तो तेरा बहुत बड़ा जाने वाला है.
If you are nobody, you're a municipality.
Yeah.
But Prem Nath ji, of course, shared a close bond with Kapoor family. He was, of course,
his brother-in-law, no? Krishna Dadi is his real sister. Yeah.
Can you tell us about the close bond, your close bond with Kapoor family?
Mine was only with Krishna Dadi and Chintu Chacha. In the full family, which is Rishi Kapoor, I had a very, very close bond with Rishi Kapoor. I think Rishi Kapoor was one person who's had a close bond or his own association with the people that mattered to him. He would, if I would write something on Twitter which was just to praise someone, he would literally fight, shout at me, "I'm judging you and what are you doing and this is wrong." And I'm saying, "I'm just helping someone, praising someone's film. No, you're wrong. This is totally gone." So he was one person, if I was in a problem, I would call him and he would sort it out for me. Besides that, in the Kapoor family, personally, see, Dad is very close to Dabu Chacha, which is Ranbir Kapoor. My Chacha Monty was very close to Chimpu, which is Rajiv Kapoor. Very, very close. They were very, very thick. Papa and Dabu Chacha was literally his guru. He worked as an assistant on Kala Jarkal. Of course, Dad, and because they've grown up together, all these kids have grown up together, literally, in RK, going for their parties, becoming heroes together. Our association, me personally, I have not grown up together with Ranbir, or Ranbir is younger to me, or Bebo. Bebo, I directed, and she won the best film.
Yeah, you directed her for We Are Family.
She won the Filmfare for that. She won the Filmfare for We Are Family. But yeah, I mean, in terms
Ranbir is not. You don't. Do you meet him? Talk to him?
We don't have we talk, but we don't talk like kya ho raha hai? Like he's not a friend, or he's not a family friend even. In families, in the immediate family, they're Prem Chopra's daughters, who are my buas, who I'm way more closer to. That's the immediate family who we are in touch with almost every second day or every week.
Chintu was very lively.
Rajendranath's son, Yuvraj. That's the family that we are immediately very, very close to, at least in my life. So Yuvi Bhaiya, Prerna Bua, Punita Bua, Rakita Bua, Sharman, Vikas Bhaiya. Those are the people, Rahul. Those are the people we are closer
With
to.
Prem Chopra's family.
G. Because dad is very close to Prem Uncle Little.
Sure. And
And
Zahaan was so good in Black.
oh, he was superb. I loved him. I absolutely loved him. I'm waiting to work with him. If there's a right role that comes up, I'm very loyal to my writers first. My writers first create the characters and then they give me the blueprint, and then I'm loyal to what vision we've got. And I try and stay true to that vision and then try and see if I can take it a notch up.
Coming back to your journey,
Ji.
what are some of your memorable experiences? You were an assistant director
Yeah.
on
I was an AD on
Kalona.
Kalona Ho with Nikhil, and Karan was there, and of course Tarun and all were there. That my first film as an AD was actually Kareem, Vidhu Vinod Chopra. I was 16 years old.
I love that song.
Chori Chori Jab Nazar Mili. Yeah. So that was my first film. I was in 11th standard when I went to Rival sir, assisting Vinod sir, because I'm a huge Vidhu Vinod Chopra fan. And memories which are etched in my mind forever because he had a temper.
So share,
and
tell us.
and we've all gone through the brunt of that temper, but we've all learned a lot from him, because the way I think Vidhu Vinod Chopra uses a camera, no technician in this country does. And yeah, he's a very passionate director. He's very passionate about everything. We've had some great times working together on that film. Bobby was there. Manoj sir's wife Shabana was there at that point of time. Neha, she was called later on. Then I did Kalona Ho. And in Kalona Ho, I was assistant. The assistants were quite interesting actually on that film. There was Tarun Mansukhani, there was Puneet Malhotra, there was Arjun Kapoor, there was me, there was Mamta Anand, who's Siddharth Anand's wife, and there was a designer called Shiraz who designed a lot of clothes for Karan. So it was like half the film industry working over there for that, for that as ADs. But yeah, working with Shah Rukh sir, working with Preeti, working with Jaya ma'am, just being on a Dharma set, learning so much, Karan, so much fun. Um, we had a great time. We were literally taken care as babies over there, and then these babies were launched as directors over there. It's Karan Johar who actually doesn't get the, like he says it even today, even I say it, that he doesn't get the credit to launch. What about all of us as filmmakers? If he's given us wings to fly, while we talk about the nepotism and the babies and the kids and the actors that he launches, he's actually launched some of the most successful directors in the country as well, and makers and writers. So kudos to him, because he is really there for you if you need him. He's like his father that way. He's like Yash uncle. He's there for you. He's rock solid.
I also I also think Karan is also a great producer, somebody who knows who has the best talent and he actually go and collaborate with him.
He'll walk the walk and talk the talk with you. He's not someone who's going to just run away. He's a solid guy. He's a solid guy.
But then coming back to Kalona, do you remember a scene clearly in your mind that perhaps shooting or when you
Yeah,
that?
the first day shoot, which was not there in the film. We put up a set of community center, and which was in it was in, I think, in Film City. We shot. Adi gave the clap, first Maharaj clap. He had come, and then I was the clapper boy after that. We had that electronic clap and all of that just come in, and we were shooting the scene where Shah Rukh sir reads from the diary, and there's nothing in the diary, and he's saying, "मेरे नैना नैना को चाहते हैं, मैं हर पल तुम्हें देखता हूँ," and Saif is wondering this is not what I've written in the diary, and it's actually Shah Rukh sir telling Preeti, "I love you." The same scene was then reshot in New York, in the Grand Central Station. So, but that was the first day we shot, which got deleted from the film, and it was very well shot. It was a beautiful scene. Some other stuff even. I was responsible for casting Frankie and Delna Zirani. in the film. Delnaz, I met at a party and I said, hey, come in here, and I introduced her to Shanu, and she came into the film. Frankie, we knew, I had met him. So, who's actually a big trainer now. So yeah, we've had some great fun on that film. Great memories, and all of us have been in touch. Yeah, even Kapil Chopra was an assistant, which is Ravi Chopra's son. How do I forget him here? So we had some great fun there, yeah. And also Dharma wasn't Dharma then. No? Dharma was just Kuch Hota Hai. Carl had come out, and then there was Carl had even not come out. Kalona was there, and then Carl was going to come. Yeah.
And finally, Siddharth, audiences today are increasingly drawn to cliffhangers and layered narratives.
Yes.
How this trend influence how you structured your stories or pace of your scripts, keeping this factor in mind?
So today, because of the real generation, or or the faster, quicker generation, yes, cliffhangers, pace is very important, but pace does not mean no terror. Pace can also mean it's got to hold you. A 3 hour film can hold you. A 3.5 hour film can hold you, and a 1.5 hour film can seem the longest ever. It's because of the writing. So I really believe that invest in the writers, and then as a director, know कि आपकी कहानी की requirement क्या है. Don't overindulge. When as a director, it's my job not to it's to indulge but not to overindulge. Give them a cinematic spectacle. Give them something when they're paying money to come into the theater, or if it's OTT, then I must give them something to complete that episode or complete that series, because it's about data completion. It's about series completion. So each medium, because I do television even, I've done lots of daily shows, I've done OTT even, I do film even, I do all three, sir. So in all three, the mediums are very different. The ask is very different, and the narrative of thinking is very different. So you've got to understand who you're catering for, and then deliver to that.
Well, with that, I want to say all the best for
Thank you, sir.
directorial, and looking forward to lots more. Thank you so much for talking to me, and all the best, Siddharth.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much.